Good morning, everyone. This is the Vermont House Committee on Commerce and Economic Development. Again, it's Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 at 9:25 in the morning. So now we're joined by our Legislative Counsel, Michael Chernick, who will walk us through the language of JRS 37. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, members of the committee. For the record, Michael Chernick, Legislative Counsel. This is a resolution regarding the Olympic skiing activity, very specifically the Nordic Combine. I had a little surprise myself. I wrote this as just two amendments, and then the Senate put it back together again very nicely for us. So we can go through this entire resolution as one unit without amendment except in the title. So the original title was, excuse me, a joint resolution supporting in solidarity with national and international ski organizations and numerous skiers across the globe, the introduction of long overdue gender equity in Nordic combined Olympic competition, and urging that the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, only introduce new Olympic sports that practice gender equality, rather. 2 points on that. For those of you who might not know what Nordic Combine is, it's a combination of ski jumping and biathlon. It's a fairly rigorous, some of you, I can see folks shaking their heads knowing what it is. It's a rather rigorous Olympic sport, to put it mildly. And as a quick background, women have been actively competing in this on the World Cup level for many, many decades now. But the Olympics have refused to allow women to have the competition in Nordic Combine. So the text of the resolution, as now passed the Senate, goes as follows. Whereas Nordic Combine is a challenging winter sport requiring competitors to prove their skills as both Nordic skiers and alpine ski jumpers, and whereas it's Nordic skiing, not biathlon. The first documented Nordic combined competition occurred in Oslo, Norway in 1892, 32 years before the inaugural Winter Olympics was held in France in 1924, at which Nordic Combine was one of the featured events. And whereas the proud century of Nordic Combine competition in the Winter Olympics has been tarnished due to exclusion of women, and whereas women have exhibited outstanding Nordic Combine performances, as I was saying before, in non-Olympic competition, among the premier women Nordic Combine competitors in Vermont, Tara Garrity Moats, who has earned national and international recognition, including a number of awards. Whereas, unfortunately for this sport, the exclusion of women from Olympic Nordic combined competition persuaded Tara to pursue her Winter Olympic dreams as a biathlon athlete. And whereas Vermont is proudly the home of many outstanding women Winter Olympians who are medal winners in sports other than Nordic Combine. And whereas, ironically, although the IOC recently welcomed the political declaration adopted unanimously by the 69th session of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, reaffirming the importance of sport as a vehicle for gender equality, it continued, meaning the Olympic Committee, this exclusionary policy for the 2026 Winter Olympics. And whereas beyond 2026, Nordic Combined Winter Olympic competition may be imperiled, as the IOC may decide to eliminate the sport entirely as a way to end this embarrassing gender exclusion controversy. And whereas the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, FIS, Nordic Combined USA, and male and female Nordic Combined skiers from different nations are strongly advocating for the IOC to continue this fabled sport in Winter Olympic competition, but with gender equality. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and the House that the General Assembly supports, in solidarity with national and international ski organizations and numerous skiers across the globe, the introduction of long overdue gender equality in Nordic combined Olympic competition. And be it further that the resolve that the General Assembly urges the IOC only to introduce new Olympic sports that practice gender equality. And I should note that particular clause was added in the Senate, and it's drafted in such a way that it was meant to be applicable to both Winter and Summer Olympics and not just winter, which is why the word winter is not present in that clause. And finally, that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to FIS, Nordic Combined USA, and Ski Snowboard and the USA Ski Snowboard and the IOC. And there you go. There's the resolution as adopted in the Senate.
Any questions for Michael?
No, but thanks very much, Michael, for this.
Sure.
Michael,
Yes.
I think one in the second to the last whereas clause,
Second to the last whereas clause. Hold on, give me a second. Okay. The one that begins whereas ironically,
no, whereas beyond 20.
beyond 2026.
So do we know that the IOC is eliminating this because
It's one factor. I saw multiple factors. One factor was it's not the most popular television sport. And then I saw another factor saying that this was from a story from the Associated Press, that this was a consideration. There was one, we talked about this in the office, actually. There were multiple stories. One story said this isn't all that popular, and I guess it doesn't get the type of ratings that figure skating does or a US Russian hockey, ice hockey championship, obviously. On the other hand, there was a commentary, one that I have in this file from the AP, that there was speculation that the IOC was embarrassed by this whole situation and it might decide to eliminate it just as a way, as one factor, just as a way of eliminating the controversy once and for all. But that came to the other issue that there are Nordic Combined competitors across the world of both genders who very much wanted to stay, but with dual gender. I would also mention, as long as I'm still up here, that I specifically used the word equality versus equity. We did a dictionary search in the office, and equality seemed to be the most appropriate term, which is why we used that term in the end. But here's your answer to that question. Sure.
Any other questions for Michael? Perfect. Thank you, Michael.
Remain here. If you have any other questions or anything arises.
Or anyone else we think we need to hear from on this? If not, I will entertain a motion to report favorably on JRS 37. Moved by Representative Nicholas. Seconded by Representative Olson. I hope so. Maybe we should,
I just texted.
okay. I mean, we'll see if is Representative Brown now. Hold on for a second and see if Representative Duke will.
I saw where she is. Do you want me
They don't have a ladies version of this.
This is more incorrect.
In this sport.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
There is, but not at the Olympic.
I like curling. That's about as much as I like.
Your hair or?
It's fun watching people go all the way down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
It
It is kind of fun to watch.
You find it pro?
Is it? I haven't done it. So, I mean, since we have the time, is there a Vermonter that's not able to participate?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
She's named in she's from the Craftsbury area.
okay.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, this originated with Senator Morley. He was not in this week with a prior commitment, but some of you may remember him or not, as former Representative Morley. You're looking for Representative Hooper?
Duke.
Oh,
Would you like me-
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
It wasn't. When I was reading it this morning, I'm like, because it's Olympics and I just